Hi everyone, just going to do my review of the game. Arsenal 3, Liverpool 4. First game of the season. Um, first game of the season. Arsenal started the side kind of how I predicted in my preview of the game. Started with check and goal, Bellerin right back, Monreal left back, Chambers and Holding in defence. Coquelin and El Neni is the midfield two. Walcott on that right, Iwobi on the left, Ramsey playing behind Alexis Sanchez. Looking back at that formation now, um, Alexis Sanchez can't play as a striker. Technically, he's a great player. He can score goals, he can provide assists, but playing him in that position just it annihilates him from the game. It keeps him quiet, keeps him out of the game. And a player like that, he likes to be getting on the ball. Um, Petr what can I say? He was beaten by a great free kick from Coutinho just before the halftime whistle. Again, with that, I felt that the players in the wall didn't even make any effort to make any jump at all. If you look at the goal, you can see all three players on the wall just turn their head and just literally watch it go in, which isn't acceptable at all. Um, Mane for Liverpool, I think he had a great game. Coutinho had a great game. Um, Looking at our players again, so I've said Czechs didn't really have the best of games, but the Coutinho goal wasn't really much he could do about it. Bellerin at right back, thought it was okay. Same for Monreal. Again, even with playing Sanchez up front, guys are still trying to put slight little crosses into the box, which I didn't really quite get, didn't quite understand. I know Alexis can be someone that can jump in the air, but when playing against players such as Lovren and Clavan, guys that are kind of tall, physically built, I never thought he was really going to really challenge them in the air. On the ground, other hand, with ball to feet, he would have definitely been able to do more if was given more time on the ball, or if he was given the ball more at all in general. Chambers and Holding at centre half. It wasn't the worst of games from the pair of them. Again, both of them shouldn't have been put into that game. I've just watched Arsenal's post match interview, and he said about inexperience at the back. Again, that's something that if he knew there's inexperience and non maturity, something he should have addressed in the transfer window by now for this game. Um, Rob Holding, he was the one that conceded the free kick. It was to me, I did think it was a bit of a cheap free kick to give away. Um, Again with that, I think he had a decent performance. I think Chambers had a decent performance. I think there's only one time Chambers gave away the ball and nearly gifted Liverpool a goal. They had a 3v2. Luckily, Wijnaldum kicked the ball straight at Petr Cech and kind of kept us in the game in a sense. Going to the midfielders, I felt Coquelin had a decent game in front of the back four. I felt the same for Mohamed El Nene. I felt they could do as much as they could do in that sort of game. Even Granit Xhaka, when he came on, he's trying to make tackles and stuff. Just trying to get things ticking. Premier League debut. Bringing a player on when we're in a losing position is it's a bit difficult. Not really much more we can ask of someone to do. In that sense, Walcott missed a penalty, redeemed it within about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Um, Other than that, played fairly decent. Nothing too special from him. It will be on the left hand side. Had an okay game. Didn't really get on the ball as much as probably I'd have liked him to really threaten the back four. But when he did get the ball, he did all he could really. Kind of bought us a free kick. Unfortunately, Sanchez's free kick shot deflected off, went out for a corner. Ramsey playing at number 10 role. Um, he played decent there until he came off. I felt that Cazorla should have started in that position. But yeah, Ramsey had a chance. I think it was the 14th or 15th minute where the ball was played through to him. It's just his first touch. His first touch took away from him. If he had a better first touch there, I think that and cuts in on his right foot. I think that's a goal. If you look at the highlights, if you didn't watch the game, you would see that. Sanchez again up top. I mentioned it before. He's a world class player, world class, great player, one of the best players we have at the club, if not the best player we have at the club. But again, um, playing him up front really annihilated him today. Really, he didn't get on the ball. You could see he was pushing out wide to try and get the ball, and even when he came out wide to get the ball, he was trying to hit crosses in. And again, there's no one in there because he was the guy that was playing that central role. Um, I'll talk about the other subs. When Cazorla came on, again, it was like Xhaka, it was a bit of a tough one. You're coming on when your team's in a bit of a losing position. Not really much else you can do, except for just try your best and try put crosses in, try play the right passes through to the attacking players. Chamberlain, he scored a good goal when he came on. Um, Looked lively, looked fresh, looked like someone that's hungry to show that he's ready for this level of football this season. Looking that he's ready to step up to the plate and be the player that we've been expecting to see of him the last 3-4 seasons. Who else really? No one else that came off the bench for us. For Liverpool, on the other hand, I felt Mignolet had a decent game. Moreno potentially, well, not potentially, he was the worst player on the pitch. I think the first half he had absolutely shocking first half. I think he had a decent second half of the game. Wijnaldum kind of settled his way into the game. Coutinho had a great game. Coutinho and Mane were the two key players for them. I felt when Origi came on, he just was there to time waste and be physical against our two centre halves. Um, it's a shame because both teams didn't really play with like a prominent striker. Again, it would have been nice for us to have had that striker that if we'd signed someone to start this game, um, even if we had Giroud for 10-15 minutes, or even in the second half, if he had maybe moved Alexis out onto the wing or just behind the front man, and even give someone like Chuba Akpom a chance up front, because that's what we lacked today. We didn't actually have a striker. We didn't have an outlet to give the ball to at all up front. And Liverpool set up in a way that they knew that we would try hit them on the counter attack, so they sat deep. They sat deep so that we couldn't really play any through balls through to guys to really run onto and then threaten them. And in that sense, they were the better team at that, and they did their job well at the end of the day. That's all I can say. Hopefully, next game's Leicester City. Hopefully, by the time I do the preview video for that, we'll have another centre half in who should be Mustafi. Hopefully, we have a centre forward in. Um, who knows? Only time will tell. If you haven't already done so, subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Have a good evening.